Hi Stampers, Purple Lizard here. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about a product called Gilded Leafing Flakes. This is a beautiful gold embellishment that you can add to any greeting card. There are a few ways to get it to stick to paper, and we're going to go over a couple of those here in this video. So I'm going to use the nice big magnolia flower from Good Morning Magnolia stamp set. I have it loaded up in my Stamparatus already. I need to stamp the stamp with Versamark because I'm going to use a product called Heat and Stick by Stampin Up in order to get the Gilded Leafing Flakes to stick to the paper. So I'm going to ink up, I guess you could call it ink anyway, ink up the flower here, the pretty magnolia, with lots of Versamark. And now Versamark is clear. It is just a watermark ink. So you don't really see the image yet with Versamark, but it's there. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but it is there. Now remove your paper and we can set the Stamparatus aside. We're done with that. And the Versamark. The Heat and Stick powder you don't have to use an embossing buddy or anything with the Heat and Stick powder. It's not nearly as sensitive as embossing powder as far as sticking to the paper, but it will stick to the Versamark really nicely. So I got my little scratch piece of paper down here, or scrap piece of paper to catch out all the runoff. But see, as you can tell, it sticks really nice. Let's see a spot here that I missed. There we go. I'm gonna get a little brush for anything that any little excess I want to get off. And then you heat it up just like you do embossing powder. First I'm going to remove all this excess and put it back in the little container. Cleans up really easily. And watch how fast it heats up. It does heat up a lot faster than embossing powder does, though. At the bottom of my paper, a little warm up, and then watch how fast it heats up. Embossing powder takes much longer than this does. And it just turns clear when it's been heated up. I haven't tested it to see how long it will stay sticky, but it does stay sticky for a little while. So just make sure that it looks all good and wet. And of course you don't want to flip this over on the carpet or anything right now because it is sticky. Don't let the cat walk across it. It will be sticky for a little while. So for these embossing or gilding flakes, I have a little box that I keep them in because a little goes a long way when it comes to this product. The gilding flakes that I have here are from by Creative Expressions. I've had them a long time. And they're a mixed color. There's like silver and gold and copper. And all you need is just a little bit. A little bit will go a long way. And I think if I dump the whole jar into this box, I would never get it back into the jar. So I just put a little bit in the bottom of the box that I keep it in. And that way I can just take the whole card or whatever I'm working with and submerge it into the flakes. And just let them run across it a couple of times so that the flakes get stuck on the heat and stick powder. Then I get a pile of it on there, and you can just press it on or rub it on, whatever you want to do. Alright, so got a good pile of it on there. See? Then I take my finger and I don't know what you'd call it. I'm going to burnish it. I like to burnish it onto the paper so that it gets a good contact between the flakes and the heat and stick powder. Then I take, this is a soft brush. It's pretty soft. I take it and just run the excess back off into the box. And also to clean up the table some. These little flakes end up everywhere. I don't think it's as bad as glitter. It's much easier to clean up than glitter, but it does get everywhere. If you have a little desktop vacuum, I highly recommend using it with this stuff. So I get most of it off with this soft brush, and then I come back with this other brush that it's a little bit of a harder bristle brush, and I just rub away the excess so that the detailed design comes through. And I just go over the whole image with this little brush until I'm satisfied that all of the excess pieces of flakes have come off. And of course they can go right back into my little bucket and I can use them over again. Oops! Be careful not to blow or sneeze into that little box either right now, because it will go everywhere. As you can see, I stamped it once on the back there already. Here we go. Oh, looks like it needs some more stuck to the end here. Let me get that. Now, this is stuck on here pretty good. I'm sure if you rubbed hard enough, you could get it off, but you see I'm rubbing pretty hard with this brush, and it comes off pretty well. I'm going to use my soft brush now and just rub off some of the excess, and there you go. You have gilding flakes. Another way that you can get the flakes to stick to the paper is by using a product like tear and tape. I've already stuck some tear and tape to the edges of this white piece of paper, and I'm pulling the back of it off. so that the sticky side is now exposed, and all those corners, all these edges are very sticky. So I'm going to stick it in my box here and get flakes all over the tape. Press it down pretty good. And like I said, this stuff is messy, but it's not nearly as creepy as glitter. So, take my little brush again. Brush off some with this soft brush. And try to capture it back in the box to use for later. Try and press some of that on with my finger still. Feel tape. Feel stickiness still. Oh yeah, much better. So this is a product that I'm not really sure if it's still available. It came from the UK. So, Stampin' Up! Is going to be selling a product like this in their catalog for January 5th, 2021. It's a Gilded Leafing flakes like this, only they're going to be just gold, which I think will be much beautiful. Dust a little bit more of this off. So, there you can see, let me move this. Ooh. So, if you have a little, reach across here, a little desktop vacuum, now it's time to use it. Because this stuff, like I said, goes everywhere. There we go. I guess I could clean up a little bit more of it with this. Like I said, this harder bristle brush really cleans it up and makes it look nice and smooth. So, you need a couple of products to make these things work nice. Something good and sticky, and a couple of brushes to help get the excess off, and somewhere to keep the flakes, for sure. So there we go. This is the tape. Oh, the reason that's sticking there is because that really is a piece of the tape. Okay. So here was the Magnolia that we stamped. Now if we put that on top of here, that will be pretty. Yes. I would like to punch a hole in this paper about right here, because I'm going to put a sentiment about right here. About right. Here-ish. I'm just using like a 1 3/8 hole punch. You could use a die cut, whatever. So I have a hole in my paper now. I want this card to look really elegant, regal, over the top, because I think Gilded Leafing Flakes deserves that. Let's move some of them to the side. I'm going to use some pretty peacock also with this. I have stamp here somewhere. Here it is. Loaded up with a hello. Gonna put some Versamark on it. and stamp that on top of the pretty peacock. There you go. And then I'm going to put some heat and stick on it. And like I said, this stuff is much more forgiving than embossing powder is. You don't really have to use an embossing buddy or any sort of anti-static thing to go with the heat and stick. And it heats up a little bit faster than embossing powder does too. It doesn't take long at all. I like to give the back of my paper a little shot of heat too. I think it helps it not warp. That's bad, but that's my feelings. So I'm going to put some flakes on top of this. Burnish it in with my finger. And get the excess off with the harder bristle brush. Rub off some of the excess with my softer brush. Let's see. There's the word hello. I'm going to take this punch again, this circle punch, and punch out the word hello. Now I want this circle here to be pretty with flakes too. So I'm going to take this Versamark brush pen and put some Versamark out here. I don't think it matters if I get it perfectly or if I smear that ink. I'm gonna put heat and stick here anyway. I want to go over it just a little bit. That's the best way I can think to do this. Put some heat and stick here. I didn't put down my scrap paper. Hopefully this will cooperate and go easy. Kind of. Oh, it's not sticking very good. I was afraid that Versamark pen looked very weak. Looked very weak. This heat and stick needs a good wet surface to stick to it. Or a good tape. So here I'm going to heat it up again. I'm going to heat the bottom of this one so it will stick. Or so it won't blow away. There we go. It's turning. It's turning. Let's see if we can get some more to stick. I've had this heat and stick for a long time. I didn't know for a long time what to do with it. What do you do with heat and stick? Well, now you know. That's much better. Oh, that's a lot this time. All right, we're ready to get a bunch of flakes on it this time. Move that out of the way. Okay. Really don't need the whole circle to be covered. I don't know why I'm being so neurotic about it. Okay, I'm going to burnish it in there again with my finger. Help make it stick. Hence the heat and stick. And then take this little rougher bristled brush here. See, I didn't really need that whole circle to be done, I guess, but it's just fun to do it. It's just fun to play with this stuff and see what it comes out like. It's really pretty. Brush some of those off. All right. And so now I sort of have this random little circle here, which is mostly going to be covered up. See, I'm going to take this and cover this. And so you're really not going to see much of it. Let's see, where's some glue? I have some Tombow multi-purpose glue here. That, oh, you know, first I think I'd like to stick this part to a piece of Pretty Peacock. Ooh, that looks really pretty. Pretty with the Pretty Peacock. I think Pretty Peacock and Rich Razzleberry are perfectly elegant enough to use with these Gilding Flakes. So here we go. Position that like so. And then I'm going to take this and put it on top of here. This glue is dry. Oh well, almost empty, not dry. Gonna put some glue on here and stick it on top of this one. So yes, I'm excited to see these new Gilded Leafing Flakes from Stampin' Up in the new catalog. I'm excited to see them. Let's see, I need some dimensionals. Here we have some dimensionals. I'm not going to use glue on. I don't need that circle. And before I pull the back off, let's see how this will look the best. So I just want to offset it from that circle. Should I? Ooh, thinking we might go with that one. Something along those lines. Yep. Now we can remove the back of these dimensionals. I'm happy with the spot. And I think it's there. Ish. See, I didn't need to do the whole circle, but it was fun anyway. And now I'm going to put some of these iridescent pearls on it too. These iridescent pearls are on the retiring list right now, so you need to scoop these up if you are interested in these pretty iridescent pearls. And to me, they look like they have a lot of rich razzleberry and Pacific blue and Pretty Peacock in them. Lots of pretty colors. So let's put a couple of these here and there and here on this pretty card. Yes, indeed. I like it. So the Gilding Flakes are lots of fun. They do add a beautiful elegance to a card. It's not nearly as creepy as glitter, and a little bit goes a long way. I've had this for a good while, so I'm excited to get some gold. So thanks for watching, and like my video and subscribe if you liked it. Have a good day. Bye.